Funny line of it was where the guy was like, "That's how shit gets done. It gets done." Well, my parents are from Croatia. They were born there. They both came to the U.S. They met in L.A. and then here I am. But that name was just because of watching like Italian movies with the mob and all that stuff. And there was I remember which one it was. One of those shitty ones. It wasn't like a good one with Joe Pesci and any of that. It was like one of those really some terrible one. And but the funny line of it was where the guy was like, "That's how shit gets done. It gets done Italian style." And so I was like, okay, I just made Croatian style. I wanted to come to Singapore for a long time, and it just happened to have like a good friend over here. I am Fruitcake. I'm sure you know who Muhammad is. So, and also like SBTG. You know Mark, great like artist, been customizing shoes for the longest time. I've known him for a long time. I just never got to make it out here, but I'm glad to be here. It's great. Spent New Year's here. It's gonna be good for 2018. So this was actually set up a little while ago, and then I thought I was actually gonna come here after New Year's, but because I had a lot of friends coming from the Tao group, and they're opening up Lavo on the top of the Sands. There's like a new amazing like restaurant and lounge and club. I decided to come here for New Year's Eve and just do everything at one time. Well, I mean you know how much the trunks cost. I mean there was nothing any extra, but I believe the skateboard trunk is 75,000 Singapore dollars. Well, it's going to Project Blitz, but it's definitely for the collection. I was able to get these trunks for a couple people before, like when they actually were coming out, and I thought that at the time, I was like, okay, we're still going to be in our same place, but when we move into a new location, I always wanted to have these trunks, and it just so happened the universe put it together, and here we are. Now I was able to actually get a set for Blitz, so nice. I'm actually really thankful. No, because I already knew, even from years ago when I used to do all my own shipping, when I used to do all my own packing, when I used to do all of that, like 10 years ago, there was always a lot of people from Singapore, Malaysia, and Indonesia, even more so than Thailand or Vietnam. But really, it's here, like Singapore, Malaysia, Kuala Lumpur. I always had those addresses, right? And then a few occasional attempted scams from Johor on that thing. So we even had a sign like, "Do not ship to Johor."
Oh, really?
But no offense to anybody from Johor, like we love you. It's just a few guys kind of screw things up a little bit, but now we're pretty settled in and dialed in, so anyone can pretty much purchase on the site. We have our good like fraud filters and whatnot. So. I knew one day it would get to where it was. I mean, and I think that peak was 2013, 2014. Like that was just, just huge. It came to the point where social media now closed all the doors and windows, and now we're just all on the equal flat plane, And so I'm pretty sure, because I used to fly around a lot. Like I go to Greece, I go to Hong Kong, and I'd walk in a store and they had like tons of something that I would need or whatever, and just buy it all and ship it back. But now I know that it's so global that you can't walk in any corner of the world and find anything that's like a gem anymore, like a whole like treasure trove. Like I don't think you can walk in anywhere and just find like an incredible like a assortment of stuff just sitting around anymore. Because in every city and everywhere in the world, I guarantee you there's someone there that knows what's up, that can easily buy it themselves and go put it for sale on eBay or one of these apps or whatever now, and there it is. Like DJs collecting vinyl or going out finding like old polo, like low heads. There's nowhere anymore that's untouched, I think, at least in my opinion. I like the fact that now sneakers is more of like a household thing. It's not so much a niche type situation anymore like it used to be. It used to be like, well, what the hell? You have 100 shoes, or you have 1,000 shoes. Why the hell are you collecting sneakers, right? So no one back then really got it. Even girls would be like, hey, that makes absolutely no sense, But now it's like become so global and so known that almost every kid in every household is into something and teaching their parents about it. And so now that generational gap has closed. So I would say, it's out there, and that's the good thing about it. The kind of dark side has become, a lot of money is being put into all these marketplaces and all these new marketplaces, these apps and stuff, and what that's doing is just breeding a whole new slew of people that are just coming in to sell. So now you're taking away like the art and aesthetic of what you really liked from the sneaker, why you liked it, what it meant to you, like who wore it, which athlete wore it, Jordan or Pippen or Penny, and now has nothing to do with that. It's about, what is it going for? How much is it worth? That's what kids want, right? Jay-Z, Beyonce, that was like a huge kind of a big moment for me. I met Jay back in 2001 at Sporty LA in LA, which is like a really old school, been around staple of LA sneaker shop. But like that coming full circle and having them come in, obviously through Emery, his right-hand man that I met, amazing person. And that all happened too from my boy Mike, Upscale Vandal. I'm sure you've seen him. Amazing dude as well, and that's just how the energy connected. And besides them, Drake has been amazing. The whole OVO crew, they're all like good guys. Been up to Toronto a lot for OVO Fest and whatnot. And every time they came through, it's always a great array of different stuff. Travis has come in since before the fame, before everything. The Jenners have been over, Kylie and Kendall. Actors, Anthony Anderson. He's a great guy, hilarious dude. Love that guy. Trinidad James, good friend of mine. He's definitely a bro on a spiritual level too. I could go on and on. Mark McGuire, the former baseball player. Everyone from Wale to, there's a lot. Like I can sit here and go on and on, but it's cool. It's good to have all these people come to where we're actually located. It's a little bit from Hollywood and whatnot, but it shows that you're doing something right. Well, the thing is, I tried, even when I was doing eBay and stuff back in the day, like for example, Supreme, I'd go out and I would pick, things that I thought, these are great pieces. Some of them, it may not be even something I would wear, but it's something that I was like, wow, this is something that someone's overlooking and they're going to want to get it later, right? Same thing with shoes. If it's something that I really like, I'm going to stock a little bit extra of it. So when they're gone, you kind of reintroduce them again. And the same thing is for things I feel like, okay, maybe this is a little bit ahead of its time. Like for example, like Footscape Wovens, I love those things. I was stocking like tons of them for a while. And then they were like hot for a second, and then they kind of dissipated, and then all of a sudden everyone was looking for them again. And so that was a good example of something we're doing. And then also always like all the OG colors that would come out in Jordans. I would always stock away like tons of them. I mean, I started doing this in my parents' garage, and then but now for Blitz, I always knew that I wanted to always have something of everything that like meant something, all in one place. So that way you're actually, you're curating that because this is what you want to offer to your client. So this is the best of the best. Here's a cheap option for you if you want to get something for your friend or just something to walk around in. But it's not always has to be like something that's really hype. It can be something that's really dope that maybe people forgot about, or something they want to revisit again, something you can like show them, I think we're doing it the hard way. It's a very hard way. There's not many people that can out there do that and like sit on a huge inventory and constantly just replenishing it. The whole point of having like these online marketplaces is using other people for inventory, so your overhead is lower, right? But instead, we do it the hard way, where we actually stock all of it. We control our own pricing. We can, go lower or go higher with it. So we're actually kind of, and along with eBay, we set a standard. eBay gives you an actual bid amount, and then everyone else is just fighting to be the cheapest price. Because like if you're creating if we're selling consistently, let's say a Yeezy for a frozen yellow for $1,000 consistently, how can some place that's a marketplace say, oh, this is the standard, it's selling for $750, if you're not taking consideration that that's what it's going for? Well, yeah, let's go with Undefeated. So Undefeated did the Air Max 97. This is actually like an amazing colorway for me. I thought it was great. The branding on it was amazing. I think that this is probably their best collaboration like ever, excluding the Jordan because of the rarity and whatnot. But this is actually something that came out publicly and actually hit global. And actually doing that third color was a amazing thing. It really gave tears to everything, and it was the right amount of it was made for each one. You met demand. It's still worth something. It still holds value, and you wear it, and it's wearable. The minimalism, but yet has like distinct details to it. I loved it. I definitely loved that one. Cause is another thing, but it's like I didn't mention that one on the first one because it's just it's easy to it's about time that it happened, right? I remember the Air Force Ones from back then, so those were always like an incredible one. But the Tom Sachs, the Mars Yard, that one I was disappointed on because it's like, why do the exact same thing and just change the color? He's an amazing artist that I wish that they did something a little bit different. I've seen his work, does incredible stuff. So I kind of wish I expected a little bit more from that personally. I thought it would have been like way more incredible, but let's keep going. I'm trying to see something from another band. So these are your guys'.
Yeah, it's from our website. We curated it.
Mm-hmm.
So you asked the readers to vote.
And this is the order that's voting in, right?
Yeah.
That just shows that there's a strong Air Max influence here and the heritage of it. To redo like the cement print, it's already been done so many times that if that came out and there was nothing behind it, I don't think anyone would buy it. But because it was what it was back then, I think that's cool to see that people are actually like trying to pull off that heritage of it. They actually want it because of what it meant before. Okay, well, there's three. and I guess I'd have to flip a coin a couple times and do like a little playoff and figure it out. But if I had to like save one shoe, it's either the Paris Dunk, obviously. The one I kept, dead stock, it has the perfect color placement all over the shoe. The other one would be a game-worn Kobe Air Jordan 8 in the Laker colors that he, played in and signed with his old signature. And the third one would be the actual Space Jams, the Jordan 11s that MJ wore in the movie Space Jam. So it definitely has to be one of those three. It would probably most likely be the Space Jam. But yeah, definitely one of those.